Yo, welcome to the video. Today we are diving into the 3 foundational yet essential kettlebell movements every beginner should master, which are the swing, clean, and snatch. These powerful exercises not only build strength but also improve your endurance and coordination. Whether you're new to kettlebells or looking to refine your form and improve your practice, we'll break down each movement step by step, ensuring you get the most of your training while staying safe and efficient. Let's go! First up is the kettlebell swing, and we will begin by getting our body in the correct position. We will begin directly over the kettlebell and take one step back with our feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to brace our core, have a slight bend in our knees, and we're going to hinge from our hips. Go ahead and grab the kettlebell with both hands and engage your lats by pulling your shoulder blades back and down. As we pull the kettlebell towards us, we want our wrists and forearms to make contact with the crease of our hips and thighs. At the bottom of the swing, we want our backs to be straight, our forearms to be making contact with our hips, and for the kettlebell to be in this position. At the top of the swing, we want our legs vertical, our hips forward, and for the kettlebell to be out in front of us. Take note that the kettlebell travels generally in an arcing path. This will change with different movements with the kettlebell. Here's a front view. You can see that the arms are straight and that the forearms are making contact with the body. You will use that connection to thrust your hips forward and get the kettlebell moving in an arcing direction. Here are a few single arm kettlebell swing transitions. You can try the palms down version. You can try the neutral grip version, which is your thumbs will be up and your palms will be facing each other. And you can also try a palms up version. There is no wrong way. We're all different. Try all the techniques and find the one that works for you. Now that you've learned the correct way to complete the kettlebell swing, let's talk about what not to do. Most beginners want to squat their kettlebell swing. This is what it looks like. The back will be bent, the knees will be too bent, and the kettlebell will be at a disadvantageous position. This is what wrong looks like, and this is what right looks like. Now let's get to my personal favorite, the kettlebell clean. The clean is my favorite as there are hundreds of kettlebell movements that incorporate the kettlebell clean. And once you learn the correct technique, you can lift heavier weight than you probably anticipated, and it won't hurt your forearm. We'll begin by getting in the correct starting position just as we did with the kettlebell swing. Notice at the bottom of my swing, my thumb is pointing towards the rear. As I thrust the weight forward and up, I simply rotate my hand and catch the kettlebell in the rack position. And here is another look from the side view. Remember to get in a good tight body position, squeeze that lat, and begin your movement. Notice the kettlebell stays close to my body through the entire movement from the bottom of the swing all the way up to the rack position. This is quite the opposite of the kettlebell swing where the kettlebell is far away from our body. Keep the kettlebell close to your body and remember to rotate your wrist to get the kettlebell up into their rack position. There are many variations of the kettlebell clean. Here are a few of my favorites. First is a tactical clean, which is where we will exchange hands in the middle of the repetition. There are many kettlebell movements and kettlebell flows that utilize the tactical clean. Once you learn it, the sky's the limit. Another variation is the crossbody clean. We will begin with the kettlebell on one side of our body. We'll use the opposite hand to reach across our body and then clean up to the rack position. This uses just about every core muscle you ever knew you had. The last variation of the kettlebell clean I'll show you is the dead clean, which just means that you're starting from a dead start position each time. This is a little more challenging as there is no momentum to help you get the kettlebell back up to the rack position. This is great for training your body to be explosive from a dead stop. Lastly, we have the kettlebell snatch, which is a very explosive movement where you will take the weight from the ground to a locked out position overhead. Check out this video I made earlier on how to conduct the kettlebell snatch. So if your kettlebell snatch looks like this, and
the weight is just climbing down on your forearm, stop what you're doing, take these 3 cues. The kettlebell snatch is executed in 3 different phases. Phase 1, the kettlebell swing. Phase 2, the high pull. And phase 3, the punch through. This is how it looks. Phase 1 is swing. Phase 2 is high pull. Phase 3 is punch through the high pull. And that is the kettlebell snatch.
Let's get into the correct starting position as we did with the kettlebell swing and the kettlebell clean. As with the kettlebell swing and clean, we want our hips making contact with our forearms and for our hips to explode forward. At about eye level or shoulder level, slightly bend your elbow and allow the momentum of the kettlebell to continue skyward. You will now punch through the kettlebell, catching it with the elbow locked and weight above your head. This drill of practicing 1 swing, 1 high pull, and 1 punch through will greatly improve your snatch very quickly. This is a very technical lift, so the more you do it, the better you will get. This is not something that you learn in the first 5 or 10 swings. Of course, there are many variations of the kettlebell snatch. This is the kettlebell dead snatch. We're taking the weight from the ground with no momentum from a dead start and putting it over our head with our elbow locked out. This is a very explosive movement and great for athletes of just about any sport. The tactical snatch, like the tactical clean, we will pull the weight off the ground with one hand. We will switch hands mid-repetition and lock the weight out over our head. This is, without a doubt, my top 5 kettlebell movements. You're training explosiveness, hand-eye coordination. You're using different muscles that usually do not work in unison. This is a great movement. Thanks for watching and learning the 3 fundamental kettlebell movements consisting of the swing, clean, and the snatch. Mastering these exercises is a great way to build strength, improve endurance, and enhance your overall fitness level. Remember, technique is key, so take your time and practice with proper form. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more kettlebell tips, and share your progress in the comments below. Keep moving, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.